my Mighty Morphin friends. We're here to talk about, finally, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Volumes 4 and Volumes 5, as well as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers The Lost Chronicles, which collects the first two annuals.
Big bomb.
We've been on this journey for quite some time, so without further ado, here's Brand Magnet.
Hello.
It's a weird way to intro. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
Sparks Witty.
Hi. Did you call him Brand Magnet?
I wasn't gonna say it. Yeah.
Did I say Red Magnet?
Here it is.
It's your sound.
Do I need to change my name to Bread now, or
What's your gummy glob today?
yeah? How much of that glob did you eat?
No, I bought new ones, so they're just gummies.
It's like when you take bread and just put it into a
Yeah,
giant
but
mold.
did you sneak in some of the melted glob?
No, I tossed that. I'm not having that again. Dude, do you know how messed up I got on Friday? My God.
I'm going to assume a lot.
It's lovely.
All right. Anyway, now that we all know I'm drug addicted, and Ryan Eliopoulos.
Hey, I'm also drug addicted. What's up?
All right, guys. So we're talking about Volumes 4 and Volume 5. This has in the Lost Chronicles. So I'm going to read out the credits. I wrote them all down. It's a lot of credits this week. So obviously we have Kyle Higgins and Hendry Prasetya, Matt Herms and Ed Dukeson. I can't read my own handwriting. I'm sorry. They obviously did the bulk of the volumes because
What about the skull? What about the skull of the volumes?
No.
That was such a good joke. You know it.
They obviously did most of the volumes of the issues because they are the team. Issue 15, however, is drawn by Daniele Bayliss and Ed Dukeshire. There it is. I read that one, right? And Ed Dukeshire. And issue 19, which is the second to last, is Daniele D. Nicuolo and Walter Bayamonte.
Was that the flashback issue?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
The backup story has been replaced this week with a Squat and Babu backup tale.
I didn't know who those fools were, but they were funny.
Oh, I remember those fools. I remember those fools. Oh yeah.
The backup is by Ryan Ferrier Bachan, just one name. Triona Farrell and Jim Campbell. Now the annuals are Kyle Higgins and Rod Reis, Ross Thibodeaux
For sure.
and Rob Gilroy.
I like that you ask us like we're looking at it and we can...
What do you think this says, Sparks? Marguerite, Bennett, and Huang Danlan, Trey Moore, and Terry Moore, James Cochalka, just writer artist, and Jorge Corona and Gabriel Casata. And the next annual, the 2017 annual, is Kyle Higgins and Goni Montes, Tom Taylor and Dan Mora, Jamal Campbell, writer artist, Trey Moore and Frazer Irving. Man, you guys, that's just chicken scratch.
No, you have to read it on a computer. Just like take a picture of it or something.
And Caitlin Kittredge and Dajung Lee.
Cool. I think he writes it now, so his handwriting can be the excuse.
Oh, I see. Okay, I gotcha. No, that's a lot of talent. It's a whole lot of talent right there.
Yep. So let's start with Volume 4.
Yes.
This ends the Draken storyline.
Yes.
Yes.
I know this isn't like the end. But like I was really hoping it was gonna go longer. Because like I didn't feel like we got that much. Not that any of it was bad, but like I was like, oh man, that stinks. But I actually like the next volume a lot more because of this one secret special character we meet because she's dope as hell. But Volume 4, the Draken stuff's cool. We get an army of Goldars, right? That's the stuff, right? Yeah.
Yes.
This is like the big like cataclysmic finale fight of this like big buildup. And I think it was pretty cool. And I think the way the villain's defeated is pretty cool. Like he goes out on his own terms, which is really cool for a villain. I thought this was a lot of fun. It was a lot of good buildup.
Yeah. I have to agree with Ryan. I actually liked the next volume, Volume 5, a little bit more because of what happened.
We're not talking about Volume 5, Ben.
I know.
Or should I say bread?
Yum, 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 bread.
Bread. But I did enjoy the Draken stuff. I thought it was neat. I really like seeing like evil Tommy again, so to speak. But seeing a mature evil Tommy, and of course it does leave room for more because we get that little hint at the end that he's not done with. So yeah, I know. Ooh, spoiler. But I still enjoyed it. I thought the dragon stuff was still pretty neat. I was like, damn, this is some good stuff. I like it.
And if any of us are looking on our phones, it's because we're looking at like the comic book. We're not just on our phones. Yeah, promise.
And Sparks.
Yeah, I liked this batch of issues probably most of like comparing to the previous batches we've done.
I agree.
Between 4 and 5, but as far as like in volume 4, I like the circumstances and a lot of the events around the Draken story. I don't really care about Draken. That's the thing, is like I was interested in the previous volume. By this volume, I realized, oh, he's evil because he's evil, and his motivations are that he's evil. And we're not going to get anything more than that. Mm-hmm. Cool. I'm like, good God, Rita Repulsa has more motivation than this guy. It like in a comic book, you can do better. And I just found Draken underwhelming. As a bad guy, I don't think he's impressive.
I think what he does to Tommy, like our Tommy, is pretty good. Like the conflict of like, oh, this is who I might become, so I have to be better. That stuff's fine. But yeah, I think like the build up. Do you want to know
what it is?
Yeah.
He had more personality when he was telepathically representing the Dragon Zord or whatever in the premiere, like the premiere issues where he we didn't know who he was. He had personality, he had snark.
That's true.
And he doesn't have any of that. He's just, I say the stereotypical bad guy line.
Also, doesn't he like kill one of those, like he's talking to like a Pink Ranger and he kills her because she underperformed or something. And I'm like, that is a very, very cliche villain thing to do of like, oh, I don't care about my lackeys, I'm gonna kill him for messing up. I'm like, that's like the first thing that we see about him. Like, oh, that's kind of, okay, I've seen that before.
Yeah, I think just to give my initial thoughts, I think I agree that Draken as a character is a little underwhelming. I kind of liked, no, I didn't kind of. I liked more the stuff that happened with the other Rangers and Billy. I think that stuff was really interesting. There's even a line where alternate Zach tells our Zach to tell them about Rita's offer.
Yes.
Which was a callback from the Zach-centric issue a while back. And I think a lot of those moments work really well in this issue.
I agree.
In this volume.
Or a conversation that Trini has with our Billy, or like alternate Trini has with regular Billy about how Billy saved her from essentially dying, and she was able to keep his power coin.
Yeah.
There's one moment I really like between Kim and Jason. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Jason realizes like that Kim likes Tommy, right? And she's a pessimist, and she's like, I don't think this is going to end well, because how could anything end well, right? And he's like, you just have to believe that it will end well. And she's like, you know what? That's why you're the leader.
Yeah,
because like you're the optimist. And I'm like, oh, that's a good, sweet little moment. And those are just so few and far between for me. Where I feel like I don't think any of this is necessarily like, it's not badly written. It's just like those good character moments aren't there enough. When I feel like, I know Kyle Higgins is he can do it. Like I've read so much of his DC work. I know it's there. It's just like, it feels like he's slowly getting to the best book he can write. It's like, we're still not there yet, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Real quickly, I forgot to mention, I mentioned this on the main show, this past main show, but I wanted to mention here on the book club, just to tell the audience of this series, that I did branch out and read other Power Rangers graphic novels. I was interested in the rest of the stories happening around this time. So I read Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Pink, which we had anticipated would shed more light on the character development of Kimberly in the main series, because we're not getting a lot of that character development. It doesn't really, it jumps forward into the future when Kimberly is no longer a Power Ranger. And a lot of it, you have to kind of know Power Rangers lore, else you'll be lost. There's some good stuff in it. I like the stuff that Kimberly's dealing with, like what does she do now that she's not a Power Ranger? It's good stuff. I recommend it if you want more Power Rangers, but it's not going to really help with Kimberly's character development.
Okay.
I read the Power Ranger Soul of the Dragon, which is the Tommy Oliver as an old man book. That's also written by Kyle Higgins. That one's good, although that one, more than Pink, requires you to know a lot of Power Rangers lore, or else you're kind of going to be lost.
Okay.
But ultimately, it's a fun story if you like that trope, which I know Ryan, you and I do. That kind of like, one more time.
Yeah,
old man Logan trope.
Oh yeah, I love it.
But the best one was Justice League Power Rangers. Justice League versus Power Rangers is Tom Taylor. That book is incredible. I highly recommend that one. And also recommend Go-Go Power Rangers, which was this series tie-in. I just read the first 4 issues. They were really great, really good insight. That's the one where you get the insight into the rest of the team that we were missing from the first couple issues.
Sure.
I like that book a lot. Anyway.
I guess like this is like probably a bad analogy, but it's the closest thing I can think of. This feels like the MCU-ifying of the Power Rangers, right? It's like taking everything, and you're slowly building to like one big cosmic thing. But I don't think the big threat, but also because again, like this isn't the end of Draken, and we know that. Like it's not like a big cliffhanger. Like we know he's alive. I just feel like the build up, like these first 15 issues, like yo, this is the big bad, but then it's like he's done before issue 20. And I'm like, well, that's kind of surprising.
So Go-Go Power Rangers ties into the main event, the Shattered Grid main event that's going to end this run. Yeah. So much so that the issues are collected in the Shattered Grid
trade
hardcover.
Oh, okay.
Not the trade. The trade I think is just Mighty Morphin Power Rangers because they split into 2 trades because of the 4-issue weird thing.
Yeah.
But Go-Go is included in the hardcover, which like collects all of it in a reading order.
Gotcha. Okay, so I guess Shattered Grid is then the conclusion that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I guess I wonder if they should have prolonged this out longer.
I'll tell you what sucks is like this is the volume 4 is the end of an arc really about like Tommy coming to terms with can I be something that isn't the bad guy and being faced literally with the bad version of himself to show you can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they stick the landing on it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the other Rangers characters are done well, but it's not just that Draken becomes utterly like cliche and boring in this volume. It's also that Tommy's reaction to him isn't as fleshed out as I want it to be.
Yeah.
They don't stick the landing of Tommy going, yeah, I'm a Power Ranger. Like they don't, it's close, but it's not there.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that leaves the whole arc as in total underwhelming.
I like the hacking of Alpha. So like Alpha's talking to the Rangers and it's a big old trap. I thought that was a pretty cool plot point.
I thought so too.
Honestly, everything with the villains, I'm really digging.
There's
Finster making a bunch of Goldars.
Yes, like all the sub-villain stuff. Like, I like
one
that a
of
lot.
the best things about this book is the way they redo the villains. Because from what I remember, are the villains, especially Goldar, Finster, Babu, and Squat specifically. I mean, Babu, Squat, they're kind of back to the bumbling idiots that I remember they were back in the show. But Goldar is menacing. Finster isn't just this kooky dude in the background. I'm actually a little afraid of him.
He's a demented scientist.
Yeah.
They both have character. Goldar has like so much honor, and he's like from the annual, like we get so much of like his like race, and I'm like, Goldar is like honestly my favorite Power Rangers character. I think specifically just from these comics, like there's so much going on with that dude. I'm like, give me a whole series about that guy.
So what I wanted to say is I wanted to highlight issue 15. Issue 15 is Zordon, is our Zordon meets the Draken universe Zordon and watches that Zordon perish as he's watching his universe come to be.
I thought
that was awesome.
That was.
Yeah, that's definitely probably the most out there cool concept that this comic has done so far. I'm glad that they're willing to do that. Like, yeah, they exist. This is like it's outside of time and space. And then like they're just like passing each other as like they're dying and being born. I'm like, hey, that's you, you're me. And I'm like, that's wild. That's cool stuff.
So everything about the Zordon stuff of that, 100% agree. The art was really great. That's a really great issue. It does actually still speak to my problem with Draken, which is that the whole point of it is, he's just, give him as many chances as you want. He's inevitably bad. Like he's just evil because. Yeah. And that's the whole thing is he's just shown to be. No, this one has to be bad because the other universe one has to be good. So this one has to be bad. And I'm like, that's boring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that. It also reveals that on the Draken side of things, it reveals that Tommy turned into Draken after his mind was wiped, after his mind was like free of Rita. So he chose to just be evil.
Yeah, free will. Yeah.
After they destroyed the Sword of Evil, he's like, I kind of dig this side. I'm going to stay here.
Although just to quickly jump ahead to the 2017 annual by Kyle Higgins. That story ends up being kind of a Draken origin story. You find out at the end that it's because Rita found him before the Power Rangers did.
Yeah, and that's another example of just like, so he's just like, I don't think that's good motivation still.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's so good. I think it's cool that like Rita was able to convince him, but I thought Tommy was much stronger than that. I don't think her deliberations were good enough to convince him.
Nothing she's saying in there is anything really different from what, honestly, like, I like the idea of like seeing the searching for him and all that, but nothing that she does there. It just feels like a rehash of Rita speaking in Tommy's mind in the beginning of this series.
Mm-hmm.
But not as good.
And nothing there like made that Tommy go bad. So again, like, they don't speak to what's in him that makes him do it.
Yeah,
he's just bad because he's bad because we know he has to be bad, and that's fine. But like, it's boring.
Yeah.
And it's ultimately the like most underwhelming part of the whole thing, because when he comes to blows with the regular Tommy, his whole presentation towards him is typical.
Oh yeah, and
it's dull. It's not him saying
your
anything
family
that,
is weak and like you just rely on yourself. And I'm like, that's like I was reading that in Batman, like in every Batman.
No, if I want to hear a villain say that, I'll turn on Power Rangers.
Yeah,
I'm reading a comic book to get something a little more.
Yeah.
I'll turn on the old show if I want to hear a villain go, "It's because your family won't be there for you, Tommy."
Yeah.
Give me a break.
That's a pretty good Bryan Cranston.
Yeah. My favorite Power Ranger villain. Yeah. Again, like all the stuff. Let me think. Oh yeah, all the stuff with like the Future Rangers, I think is cool. Like the coin.
Right. So that's Volume 5. Volume 5 introduces.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We're back to the main universe, and they're trying to find Rita's generals on Earth, specifically Finster, and we're introduced to the first gen Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
So, firstly, I thought I think her name's Grace. Grace. Is it Grace?
Grace, I think, yes.
Grace, yeah.
We're talking about.
I thought you were talking about the ones we see in the alternate future who are the coinless that are forming the resistance. Is that what you were referring to at first?
Maybe. I'm also talking about Grace, who is like.
Okay, yeah, I know. I wasn't getting to Grace.
No, I'm talking about Grace. I thought that introduction of the old school Rangers, and like there was a generation before, and like I think that stuff's radical. That's my favorite stuff. I love it.
So that we get their like origin story in issue 19.
Yeah. At the very end.
That's my favorite issue, I think, of the run so far.
What about when I just want to stick in Volume 4 for a second? Yeah. What about when Trini slams the shit down on Rita on the moon?
That's cool.
Yeah,
all by herself.
Yeah, moon fights were cool. Yes. Sorry, yeah.
I really like that because Rita. See, that's the whole thing. Is like I have a way better understanding of a lot of the characters now, like Trini and stuff, because of moments like that.
Yeah.
And I somehow feel like we still didn't actually get to explore Tommy to its fullest. Even though this is supposed to be his arc.
His whole story.
Yeah.
All the stuff with Billy and how, like, Billy died in the future. And he's, like, working out. And Mom's like, why are you working out so much?
Yeah, like, I also like the relationship that Billy is getting with Tommy, especially when they go off to do leg day. And Tommy's like, your favorite? He's like, I wish. And then they're just sitting there exhausted. And he's like, you know what? Drac would probably do another one. Yeah, future Billy would probably do another one, too.
Yeah.
You want to go again?
Future Billy's dead. Sorry, Billy.
Yeah.
Or even just the building relationship between Billy and Trini, because I love seeing those two together.
Yeah,
I actually really like the stuff with Trini in this volume, and Volume 4 specifically. I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, I really like it a lot. I love her moment standing up to Rita.
Yeah.
Where she brings the armor onto herself because she learned to reprogram it.
Oh yeah, and she's like the one who takes out everyone basically.
Yeah, that was freaking rad. When she got the Black Dragon armor on, I was like, oh.
And she's still a Green Ranger at the time, and she's able to get her coin back, so she gets back the power of the Yellow Ranger.
Yeah, and this art, like we've said it the other episodes, but this art is still incredible.
Yeah.
Like the people are great, but man, those Zords, like anytime there's like anything monstrous, is just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You can tell he's having fun designing new monsters.
Oh yeah.
That dragon's scary.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was awesome.
But Draken, he gets defeated by Tommy, and he's like, surrender or whatever. And Draken's like, eat my shorts, and he just lets himself fall.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, I'd rather die than surrender or whatever. And I'm like, that's all right, Draken.
But then the military picks him up anyway.
The military of our world.
Yes, because he gets accidentally transported to our world. Very Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah.
That's
oh man, he should have gone to the command center. They blew it up.
They blew it up. Damn you. Is there anything else in Volume 4 you guys want to talk about?
Not that
It's been 3 weeks since I read it, so I apologize if I've forgotten something.
Hey, bro, I read it earlier today and I already forgot, so it's okay.
I think we covered a lot of like the broad strokes of it.
Yeah.
The Goldar army is dope.
Goldar
army is pretty cool. Yeah.
Goldar's mad because like, what am I not good enough just to be me? And like, you can like the resentment in him is slowly building. And like, honestly, I would continue reading this book if I just knew Goldar would like betray.
They even like talk to Goldar when the Rangers do, and they're like, Goldar, you're down with this, and he's like, I serve my empress as she requires, and it's like, all right, man, but I mean, like, this is kind of messed up.
And in the backups, in the cartoony backups, Goldar becomes a hero for a second, or was it an annual? I don't remember.
No, it was in the annual. The one with Scorpina in the fair.
So I'll save it.
Yes, I love that one.
But Goldar has instances of being a hero. So I'm like, yo, man, make that a character change. Just make him an anti-hero. Like, help good because I hate Rita. Like, that'd be so good.
You know what?
So good.
Okay, so I know we've talked about Prince Zuko and his character arc in Avatar, but do you guys remember the character Toru in Jackie Chan Adventures?
Nope.
Yes.
No. You know Brandon?
Yeah, the big guy.
Yeah, the really big guy.
He became a hero.
Yeah, he does. It was originally a bad guy, and then he joins Jackie Chan, Jade, and Uncle, and starts kicking ass and taking names. He's a pretty awesome character.
Ben, pause real quick. I'm going to take a minute to talk about the fact that Jackie Chan Adventures rules.
Yes, it does rule. I love that show. Are you kidding me?
Thank you for this interlude.
You're welcome, dude.
Jackie Chan wasn't involved in the making of that show at all. It really sucks.
Yeah, that is a bummer, but. Either way, that show was really.
Don't do it, Ben! No, you idiot!
Ben, he's definitely involved in the making of that show. What are you talking about?
He's in every episode.
It's called the Jackie Chan Adventures.
I thought he just executive produced it and didn't do jack squat.
No, he does the thing at the end of every episode that Christopher Lloyd did at the end of every Back to the Future episode.
Oh god, I don't remember that.
He's in the end being like, "Here's what you do, kids."
Oh, like the
you kick people. I don't know.
Ben, have you seen this show?
You are officially Ben Gullible Magnet. You went right along into that one. Good God.
Speaking of good
God.
God.
I remember in the credits saying his name as an executive producer, and I thought he was the voice of Jackie Chan. He's not, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I thought. I don't remember the Sonic Says segment at the end of Jackie Chan Adventures. I don't remember that.
That's exactly what it is. They would have the voice actress for Jade be like, "Hey, Uncle, what? How do you do a jump kick?" And he would be like this.
And then he does something no kid could ever do. And it's like, it's that easy. I'm like, shut up.
Okay, how can I remember almost all the powers of the talismans, but I can't remember that?
Speaking of remembering, Volume 5 is pretty good, right, guys?
Yeah, Volume 5 is awesome.
I liked Volume 5.
Power Rangers.
I like Volume 5. Much like I said, 19 is my favorite issue of the whole run so far.
I agree. So when that lady was first introduced, I thought she was Rita.
I thought she was a bad guy. I didn't think she was Rita. I
didn't think she was Rita, but I did think she was a bad guy.
Yeah, I thought she was going to be like getting super close and then like jack everything up from the inside.
She was Loki as the snake, and then she was going to stab the guys.
Exactly. I literally was thinking Loki. Yes, I was exactly thinking something like that. And then she was like, "Nah, I'm his first Ranger," and I'm like, "Say what?" And then we got a cool flashback.
I don't know Power Rangers really well, so isn't it a thing that Rita physically can't leave the moon until certain things are done?
I don't know.
Am I making that up?
I have no idea.
I think that's why Psycho Green went to go.
You know what?
I don't think. Yeah, I think she physically cannot leave the moon until certain. Yeah. I don't know.
That sounds
I don't
right.
know, but so that's why I
right.
assumed it couldn't be Rita because I'm like Rita can't leave the moon yet, and that's why I assumed that. But I don't know if that's actually.
But we saw in the comic book we see Rita in the command center after the Black Dragon destroys it.
Is that
I think because Zordon left because Zordon's power is preventing her from going to the Earth. I could be wrong.
Oh, it could have been Zordon's magic, kind of like Hela and Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. Because if Rita was able to show up, how come she can't in the show? How come she never can come down to Earth and kick ass herself? She always has to throw her staff and say, "Make my monster grow!" So I think Sparks is onto something here.
So the first time that the Earth is potentially attacked by Rita, like she's going to escape. This guy's coming to break her out. Is
Psycho? It's a think of a Psycho Ranger.
Like Psycho Green. Yeah.
Psycho Green.
When did we get a date when this takes place?
Yeah,
1968.
Because it was the moon. It was right around the moon.
No, 1969. It was right after the moon landing.
Okay, yeah. So it was definitely a long time ago. This lady she looks real good for her age. I'll say that. But I thought all this stuff with like the original Rangers and like it's just some random Russian kid and like these other kids from America and like some British kid. They all get different colors.
A Vietnam War vet.
Yeah. All different like ideologies and stuff.
And
like
Grace is the Red Ranger.
Grace is the Red Ranger. Yeah. And like I would totally read a like 5-issue mini about them. Like 100%.
But there can't be because their first mission, half of them die.
Yes, and that's a bummer because I'm like, oh my god, the potential is you have an entire another like franchise just with these characters, but unfortunately they're like, nah, let's just kill half of them.
Oh no, like 4 of them die, and only the veteran who was the Yellow Ranger and Grace the Red Ranger live. Everyone else just died. I even had to look back. I was like, did that guy just die? And yeah, they all died. 3 of them or 4 of them died.
3
of them died.
There are 5 Rangers, 3 die.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, this arc starts with. I know we're kind of jumping to like this stuff, but this is the arc with like Finster unleashing random monsters, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Carmadillo.
There's also another one that I thought was really stupid.
I got it. Hold on.
Oh, Goth Sloth.
Goth Sloth.
Wow.
And
God, Goth Sloth is my.
I like the Vitruvian Man one. The first one they fight.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
Where are you? There you are.
Crover
Lord.
Those are some fantastic Power Rangers villain names. They're all super inventive. I love Finster's idea of just like, I'm an artist of chaos. I'm just making art. I'm lovely. And I'm you're a little goober. I love it. Again,
Borlock, who is a boar. Borlock is no guy. Borlock is the greatest pig wizard ever to be brought forth.
God, I forgot about Borlock.
This is some of the best campy stuff. Is the stuff with these monsters.
I really appreciate and love like building like a big universal like story with what they've done. But then I get to like this arc where it's just like a bunch of random monsters, and then you get like the old Rangers. I'm like, oh, I like this so much more.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is.
There's also an underlying story where everyone's like worried about Jason.
Yeah,
because Jason's overworking himself after they lost Zordon.
Yes.
Which I think is really good because Jason is arguably at this point the most underexplored Ranger. Maybe. No, I think he is. I think he's the most underexplored, like for anything other than he's the good leader.
Yeah. I like that one
at this point.
Story.
So yes, exactly. So I think diving into some stuff with him is really great. Yeah, they have this great moment where Zach like first thing goes to him and he's like, "Yo, man, you gotta like chill,
take it down."
Yeah.
I really like the story. So do we want to go into the backup story?
Yeah, I mean, it's what are
I just want to touch on real quick. These are things I appreciate in this book.
Dad.
Is that they're fleshing out things like Kimberly being uncomfortable with her dad wanting to get engaged again.
Yeah.
While he's encouraging her to be with Tommy, they have Billy, whose mom is rewatching the footage of him being pulled out of the rubble 4 days later and super nervous every time he goes anywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
That's like stuff from like that Power Rangers movie.
I really love when Goth Sloth throws Jason at Zach and Billy has to shoot Zach to knock him out of the way.
Sorry, man. I like because like
and Zach teleporting Goth Sloth to be blasted by Crover Lord. Instant transmission style.
Again, some really good art, like some good looking villains. This was a very, very fun volume.
And Finster feels really sinister throughout it. It's really nice. Finster studying humans, making more things out of them. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah. That moment with Kimberly and her dad, the watches go off between is it Tommy who's at the bar? Or at the restaurant?
Tommy and her, but they're matching, and he's like, "Oh, you guys have matching tones."
They're cute. Goes off and like, "Oh, you guys are matching. That's so cute." Like, you don't even know, sir.
They're communicating. The way that the Pink Ranger gets killed.
Oh, geez.
With his face mask getting shut. And it's just like, Daniel, wait. All right, that's it, man. Yes, Daniel, wait. I want more Green Psycho. Green Psycho already has more personality than Draken had in that
There's
volume.
one, can you find a page where like it's like the first thing he says or something like, Rita told us like blah, blah, blah. And then Green Psycho says like, you shouldn't have said yes or something. It's just super.
You should have told Zordon no.
Yeah, as he's about to kill all these fools. Like that's the first thing he says to these people.
And they're like running to Daniel and they're like, Daniel, hold on. And he's like messed up.
It's like a horror scene.
And then he transforms into the even bigger fire thing.
it's like a horror scene in this like action book, and I thought it was a lot of fun.
And then Zordon's just like, sorry guys, you don't get to keep the powers. Peace.
That's also like a moral thing where I'm like, yo, that sucks. These kids just went through hell and all of them died. Like,
Zordon's like, yo, I made a mistake. You all weren't ready. I need other people who actually, know how to.
No,
fight.
that's not it. That's not it. What he says is the world is no longer at stake, so you can't have these powers anymore.
You don't need them.
There isn't a threat. And you're not allowed to use it because Reis is like, we could still do a lot of good with this. And he's like, no, you're not allowed to interfere with humankind things. So go forget your powers.
The Vietnam War is happening right now. And she's like, we can stop the war. We can win the war. And he's like, we cannot meddle in human affairs.
Yeah.
That's not what we Zordon people, Zordon of Eltar. I don't know. He's from Eltar. That's a thing. We don't do that. We're the Watchers, except for when she gets too bad.
Yeah. Zordon's like, Reis, stop. That's all we need. It's like, but we could do. Nope.
Yeah, that's a big old bummer. I really hope Grace is involved more because I just think that is such a fascinating idea. I doubt she's like a mainstay, but whatever organization she's with, like I want more of that, please.
I hope the other surviving ranger pops up somewhere. That'd be cool to see too.
Yeah. Definitely, probably.
Yeah. The backstories.
The backup stories: Squat and Babu. They've replaced the Steve Orlando Skull and Bulk and Bulk. Yes. Ongoing. Wait, was volume or was this one in the annual? What was the one where we find out that Skull and Billy were friends?
Oh god,
is that in the annual?
Probably because I don't remember.
Or was that in this volume?
No, I think that's in the annual because all this stuff was like just like really goofy villain stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like super cartoony. Like
this
stuff was the stuff I remember about Babu and Frack, what's his name?
They create a multiverse. They create a multiverse device that can go to other dimensions. One where they find giant monsters, and Goldar is still there.
And also one where there's Zords.
Also one where everyone is Zords.
Yeah.
They just want to like help out, which is really sweet.
I really like the one where everyone is Zords because they're like, here we can be heroes. We'll really do it this time. Just look for the threat, and they see only other Zords, and it's like they're just like, hey, howdy, hey, how you doing? Gonna go do some community service today. They're like, oh my gosh, that's evil. We gotta kill.
That's fun. Yeah, these are a completely tonal change from much like the ones that we've done in the past, like the Bulk and Skull stuff.
Yeah.
Just completely really silly, fun, cartoony stuff. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as the previous ones, but they were they're only like a page. Yeah. So like it's not like it's terrible to read. And that's a little like a palate cleanser, call it that.
Right.
Yeah.
You get the super like after the issue with all the essentially the first Rangers dying, you get that's some dark shit. Oh, hey, here's some bright, really fun slapstick stuff to ease you off the really depressing shit that you just saw.
It's true.
I don't know if I like this more than the Bulk and Skull.
I don't.
I can definitely tell you I like Bulk and Skull more.
Yeah, I think I did too.
But I think it's fine. Yeah. I specifically like the beating up innocent Zords part the most.
Yeah.
Isn't one of the Zords just like looking at it was like, why are you doing this to us?
Yes.
Yeah. Annual time, baby.
There's
no.
No, yes, yeah. I just wanted to bring up. There's one thing that I wanted to highlight, and I can't remember I was going through which story was in the annuals, and I can't remember which story it's in. So I want to highlight a moment that I'm sure at least three of us know is when it's revealed that Skull and Billy were childhood best friends. And Billy is so upset because Skull has become his bully, even though they used to be nerd best friends playing. The ground is lava and playing like spaceships things when they were like 10, and now Billy is upset that they're no longer friends together.
It's really sad and sweet.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's the 2016 annual has about 5 or 6 stories in it.
Sure does.
The first one is the life and times of the Red Ranger.
Yeah. Here's a little bit of character development. Yo, that dude needs to stop working.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that poor kid. I get it. I know. I knew kids growing up like that, who are just like, I don't sleep because I'm stupid. They don't sleep because they figure they can never do enough. There is always something to do, and they can always be better. They can always be stronger, faster, smarter.
I'm dead.
It's what?
Essentially, it's the "I'll rest when I'm dead" mentality.
Yes, exactly. That poor kid just wants to rest. He's saving the town, doing homework at 5 a.m, sleeping until 7 p.m. until his ranger thing goes off because his life's just so in flux. That's a nice little look, like almost dialogueless look into his life.
Yeah, I enjoy that one. He teaches at the youth center.
Mhm.
Teaches karate.
Yeah.
The second story was a Bulk and Skull story.
They become Power Rangers.
They become Power Rangers. The Purple Ranger and the
Orange Ranger.
Orange Ranger.
We were so made to wear these. Their outfits do not fit. Clearly, they are off-brand or just like hand-me-downs. Like you're all we got. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
They're the Spirit Halloween knockoff Power Rangers, essentially.
And then at the end, Zordon erases their memory. Like, we can't have you remember this.
yeah. Bulkmeyer gets the power of the Bacon Dawn, and Skulovich gets the power of the Feathered Actyl. I'm like, that's pretty cute. That's cute. All right, that's a cute little story.
Yeah. This one's my favorite. The next one is my favorite of the whole annual. It's the Marguerite Bennett, Huang, Danlan. It's the one where the Pink Ranger, Kimberly, and Trini, and the Yellow Ranger are doing an outdoor charity event function, and then this like rabbit monster attacks them.
It's like Alice in Wonderland almost. Yeah.
I love the art.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really good art. And this is like a villain who then learns, oh, maybe I'll be a good person.
Maybe I'll be a rabbit from now
It's
on.
nice. Yeah.
I
like it as a whole. I like Kimberly jumping in front of Trini to save her and that making her go, I'm wrong about people. My favorite of this annual was the next one.
Is it the Goldar?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we go to Goldar's planet,
I love this.
where Lord Zed is ruling
Yes.
over.
I didn't know Zed didn't already come without his skin on. I didn't know that.
Me too.
Reveal. That's really cool.
Wait, you see Zed with his skin on?
No. So Ben. So what happens is, everyone in this story is, like Lord Zed tells us to go attack this planet, but Goldar's brother, what was his name, Sylvdar or something like that?
Oh,
Hold
man.
on, I'll look at it. Hold on.
Silverback.
Yeah.
What?
Silverback.
Silverback.
It's a race of Goldars. They're like Saiyans. They're basically Saiyans, and he's Vegeta or Frieza. Excuse me.
So was he silver or was he gold?
He's silver.
Oh, that's rad.
So
Yeah,
he's like, hey, I don't think Lord Zed knows what he's doing. We haven't seen him in forever.
Oh, that's cool.
We haven't seen Lord Zed in forever. Like, we don't know if what's in his right mind. And so then they go to see Lord Zed, and Lord Zed's like all covered up the Doctor Doom style.
Yeah.
And he like takes off the thing, and you're just like, what happened to your skin?
Oh.
Yeah, so something happened.
They're waiting for the invasion, and Lord Zed just won't let them have it.
Yeah.
And Silverback is like, yo, he's got to do the right thing. It's time for us to stop wasting time. It's time for the invasion. Yeah.
And he's going to send Goldar to spy on Rita.
Well, doesn't Zed kill Silverback?
Yeah, Zed kills Silverback.
Sorry, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, there's like an off-panel kill of killing your own brother. Now you work for me.
He says he beats up both of them.
Yeah.
Because of this coup, but it was led by Silverback, and Goldar didn't voice these opinions to him. So he says, "Yes, Goldar, help your brother up. Speak against my leadership. That makes him a traitor. What do we do with traitors?" And Goldar says, "We destroy them, master." And then he kills his brother.
Yeah. And then he gives him, "This sword is now yours, and go serve your empress," and blah blah blah. And I'm like, God, this is great. Ben, you should definitely read this one. This was dope as hell.
Goldar is initially sent. We find out that Goldar is initially sent to Rita because Lord Zed doesn't trust her.
Yeah. She's what is the phrase? Something like she's very power hungry. Like she's very
keep an eye on the witch. I see ambition in her eyes.
I see ambition in her eyes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Then there's the next one is a putty who doesn't want to be a putty anymore.
Oh yeah, the art's wacky in this one.
Yeah.
That's a weird art style.
Yeah. Zordon is like Lex Luthor.
Yeah, he does. He looks like Lex Luthor in this one.
So the putty puts on a wig and clothes and tries to go get trained at the youth center, and then they find out it's a putty.
And then he gets beat up.
Yep.
And then
the cute little one. Yeah.
and then the last story in this annual is a story about the Rangers helping clean up after one of their big monster fights in this town.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
That was cute.
I read this one. I remember this one. Do you have it? Is this it?
This is it.
Oh,
this
okay.
isn't the putty one. This is that one.
Gotcha. Oh, okay, yeah.
I just love when he gets booted right out of there's a part where they shoot the fist and it knocks back the other head, and the guy who was piloting it just goes flying out of it. And he's like, "This is far from over, Rangers!"
Yeah,
good stuff.
And then the 2017 annual, we talked about the first story of that one, which was basically we find out the Draken origin story of how Rita found him first while the Power Rangers looking for him.
He's just they're talking on top of a building.
You see him help. You see him like help a mugger, like help a not help a mugger, but help a mugging.
Yeah.
And like try to do good and not really know what his place is. And you see that the Power Rangers care about him and want him to come be with them.
Yeah, I did really like the art. I think the facial expressions are really good.
So yeah, I did too. I did also really like how Rita was like, I used to know this warlord named Lord Draken. You want to hear about him?
I think I might like to hear this tale.
I kind of only liked it because I like the idea that there was she's like the Frieza of the world of the universe, kind of. We said Lord Zed is, but like she conquered other planets. I just like hearing about like the rest of the universe, how that was.
Yeah, I agree. I just want to know about the skin thing.
Oh, the skin thing. What happened to Lord Zed's skin?
Like what skin? Because he's already ugly.
Yeah. What happened? Where was the crown in the skin?
Or that creepy visor that he has.
Yeah. The second one is a story. This is a Tom Taylor, Dan Mora story, where Trini is on vacation, but a meteor. The Babel Stone lands in this boulder. What was it? Boulder Cliff Ridge.
Creek. It's Boulder Creek.
And
Boulder
Trini.
Cliff. Sorry, Boulder Cliff.
Boulder Cliff. And Trini is there to by coincidence and fights him off.
Vacation.
I
need to talk about this.
Jesus.
So in the same one, Rita has a whole bit where she's telling Goldar to go down and retrieve this piece of the Babel Stone that landed on Earth, but do it stealthily, don't alert the Rangers, all that kind of shit. And she's like, Rita says, I want a stealth team, not a rampage. And then Goldar's just like, can we rampage a little bit? And Rita has, after you have the Babel Stone, you could do some light rampaging. And I'm like, this is the Emperor's New Groove. Somebody just had the Emperor's New Groove in their head and went, Rita Repulsa really is like Yzma.
Yeah.
And Goldar is very similar to Krunk. So I'm just going to write this bit because this is entirely just, and coffee. All right, a quick cup of coffee. Then take him out to finish the job. This is the exact same energy. Goldar's face and Rita's face on the last panel is literally Krunk and Yzma.
Sparks, refresh my memory. Who was the voice of Yzma again?
That's I know you know it, right? It's the original Catwoman from the Adam West.
Yeah. Oh god.
Eartha Kitt. Thank you.
Eartha Kitt. Yeah. Yeah. So now the second you say that, I'm probably gonna start reading Rita Repulsa's voice.
Eartha Kitt is an incredible voice actor for Rita Repulsa.
So this is the Tom Taylor Dan Mora book, right? This one.
Actually,
okay,
I take that back. Eartha Kitt would be a great Rita Repulsa live action or otherwise. Eartha Kitt should be Rita Repulsa.
Obviously, Dan Mora is an art god. He's amazing. But like his facial expression, specifically this one Rita, where you can visibly see the frustration in her eyes. That like some artists just can't do that. Yeah. Dan Mora, every facial expression is gorgeous, and she's just like, oh, you can rampage a little bit. I love it.
Trini.
It's so good. I love it. Look at the expression.
That totally is Yzma.
Trini ends up knocking the boulder onto Goldar to win the day.
So I really like the part where she's beating up all the putty men, and then she looks over and she's like, all right, Goldar, and Goldar's dropped his staff, and she's like, oh no, and Goldar's getting larger, and he's like, oh yeah.
This art is so good.
Yeah, Trini jumping up and like attacking Goldar as he's huge is dope. And yes, she does knock a boulder back onto him.
She knocks the boulder of Boulder Cliff.
The boulder of Boulder Cliff.
And when the other Power Rangers finally get there after the battle, she's like, can you put that boulder up? I'm on vacation.
Yeah. That might be my favorite one in this one.
That's a really good one.
But there's also the Finster one.
The Finster one's great. This is my favorite probably like my favorite thing is this annual because it has that story.
Yeah.
The next story we're going to talk about and the Finster ones are also
Oh
fantastic.
yes,
Yeah,
Black Ranger one.
the many
The
black.
next story. The next story is you've seen the Red Rangers team up all the time. Now you get to see all the Black Rangers team up.
What?
Yeah.
Zach is summoned to a point in space and time where they are fighting. What's it called?
I don't know. I don't remember.
They call it something. Anyway, they're fighting this creature, and one of the Black Rangers has summoned literally all of the other Black Rangers across space and time, and so they all show up and fight this thing together.
That's pretty
It's
cool.
really cool.
Oh, Crystal Cryptid.
There you go.
That's the
And
name.
this is, I think this is the Jamal Campbell one,
which is a cool looking little bad guy.
Yeah,
Crystal Cryptid.
This art is also phenomenal. And it's like the art style and like the tone of it all is very dark too. So it looks so beautiful.
It's a very nice
This is
Black Ranger Spider-Verse style.
Exactly. Yeah.
Image. Yeah.
Yeah. This is dope as hell.
Yeah.
This is like Shattered Grid before Shattered Grid.
And I like at the end when all of them are hanging out with their helmets off and everything, and they're talking with each other, and one Zach is just like, I mean, this is cool, but like, why aren't some of us not Zach?
Yeah. There was this story reminded me a lot of obviously the times that they would get all the Red Rangers back together for a major crossover.
Mm-hmm.
I always loved those when I was a kid. So seeing this would have been is just as cool.
Yeah, and the theme of all this is Zach has been questioning, like, is similar to Billy earlier on in the series where he was questioning like if he was really capable of being a Ranger. Zach is questioning not so much his capability as a Ranger, but like if they can really meet every challenge as it comes, or if they'll inevitably lose one day.
Yeah,
and he kind of gets a lot of that confidence in the team, and like, you know, that there are always more than just the Rangers that are on Earth at the time.
Yeah,
to face these challenges, which is cool.
Yeah,
that is part of the annual is called Forever Mighty Morphin Black.
Mm-hmm.
So this Finster one is hands down crazy good,
dude. Frazer Irving is such an insanely interesting artist. Like he's a guy who you'd never expect on a Power Rangers book, but like it's an annual, so why not?
So Ben, we should tell you. Did you know that Finster had a wife?
What?
Who?
Look at this art. Look at this art. That's Finster. Look at that art.
That's good. That's
for real.
This
painterly.
This issue, this story is about how Finster's wife didn't approve of his evil mad scientist ways, and she died. And he's trying to mold her back into clay. And every time
he was trying to stop her from leaving him, and she pulled away, and she fell back and hit her head. And then he goes, this wasn't my fault. It's her fault because she came in. I'm not a bad person. The townsfolk, they won't believe me. It's not fair. And then Rita comes at that moment to recruit him.
Look at that. That's horrifying.
Yeah,
wow.
You can't see Rita's face. She's just her outfit in silhouette, and her mouth, and everything else is black.
And her mouth isn't like a regular mouth. It's like the mouth of Sauron. Like it's like a demon.
It's really cool.
Dude, for real, like it's like an indie book.
So Finster commits involuntary manslaughter.
Yep.
Puts the blame on his wife.
When
Oh, F that.
When
F that.
When Rita gives him the opportunity. Rita gives him the opportunity to play with the clay that can be turned into life, and so he's like, "Oh my god, I'm so great! I'm an insane mad genius, so of course I want to play with this."
And she's saying, "And if you do it, of course you can use the same thing to revive your wife through clay."
Yeah. And whenever he does, she realizes, like, Finster, what have you done? What? And he has to kill that.
So here's the thing: you kind of expect that this is going to be like the thing where he revives her, and it's not really her; it's just a play thing, and he'll be disappointed with it.
Yeah.
Not what happens. He imbues the clay with a piece of her hair to make sure that her essence is part of it, and it will truly be her. And in fact, it is, because when it comes to life, she is right back in the moment of being horrified by the things he's done. And so he grabs an axe and chops her to bits.
Okay, I was thinking.
And then
hold up.
Hold on, real quickly, Ben. Real quickly, one more thing. And then he says, "Well, it just didn't work this time. I gotta just try again."
That wasn't the real her. She was prettier than that. Look.
So-
Here's his wife when he puts her back together. You can't really.
There you go.
Yeah, stop.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's terrifying.
Hell yeah, it is.
No, because
Yeah.
when you guys were saying that Finster's trying to like fix his wife, I was thinking of some. It's not as messed up, but you guys remember that scene in Full Metal Alchemist where that one dude mixes his daughter with the dog to create the chimera?
Edward.
Yeah, so I was thinking of something like that, but then there's like in the shadow, like a mountain of bodies, and aka like the failures. This is still messed up.
Personal and gross than that.
It's a really good.
The art is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That best Power Rangers thing I've ever read, hands down.
And it's
I
about,
was like,
it's about one of the
I,
villains.
every page I turned, I was like, I did not expect it to go here.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to go here either. What is happening?
I cannot believe that spooky shit like this came out of the frickin' Mighty Morphin Power Rangers book.
It's funny too, Ben, because you were already saying that you found Finster more menacing in this book, but you didn't read this. And this is where he's the most messed up.
Yeah.
Oh, Finster plays a role in the Soul of the Dragon original graphic novel.
Good.
Yeah, literally when she has that panel I just showed you where she's saying stop please, the next panel is a close-up on Finster, and his face is horrified and turned, and he's like, no, don't look at me like that. And then he grabs the axe and
he says, be quiet.
yeah, be quiet.
As he's being
Oh God.
She was prettier than that.
You're
Yeah.
ruining everything again.
Yeah,
So good. Oh my God. That issue is so good. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, that story's
it's amazing what just
Really,
a couple
really
of
good.
pages can do to like an entire like medium of like the Power Rangers. Like, wow, anything's possible.
If I ever watch Power Rangers again with my nieces or nephews, I'm never gonna look at Finster the exact same way ever again.
Well, you'd have
I
to
like that
read.
you needed to add I like that you needed to add a addendum. If I ever watch Power Rangers again with my nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
because good God, I won't watch Power Rangers alone.
Never.
Privately. With a sock on the door. I won't do it.
The last issue. Hey, Kimberly. Oh, I'm sorry. The last issue, the last story in that one is Scorpina and Goldar go to the fair.
This is so good as well.
This is a great issue.
Undercover superheroes.
I just really love, like, they're kind of having a shitty, unsuccessful day, and they know that Rita's going to give them shit when they go home. And a lady just comes up and is like, hey, you can come get some taffy at my booth. And Scorpina's like, yeah, I'm going to eat some taffy. And Goldar's like, whoa, we're going to get in trouble. And she's like, yeah, if I'm going to get in trouble, I'm going to eat some taffy.
Yeah.
And so they just go enjoy the fair because they're like, Rita's going to chew the shit out of us. We might as well have a good day.
Casual Goldar is maybe my favorite thing I've ever seen. Because it's Goldar just wearing like a jacket and a hat, Ben.
He's not even wearing a jacket. He's
No
wearing
jacket.
like a hoodie vest.
Yeah. He's just a regular Goldar. It's hard to see. Look at that prince. Look at that prince. Looks like Beast. Looks like Beast from X-Men.
He's he's wearing a mask too.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks it's a Goldar costume.
Yeah. But they're just like winning carnival prizes, and they're just like, no, this is super easy.
And Goldar's like, I don't think we should be doing this, Scorpina. I really don't. And she's like, come on, there isn't a single prize here you want. And Goldar's like, well,
It's a mini Goldar.
It's a mini Goldar.
Yeah.
Which then a villain shows up. But it's none of the Rangers are near them, and it's just by them. And that villain is like, they're like, okay, so if we don't kill this thing, it's gonna report on us to Rita.
Oh, because it spotted them. I think.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And they're like, so we gotta get rid of it.
Like, do you wanna?
But we have to. So we gotta be heroes. And yeah. So what do we do? And she's like, I think we might have to do this heroically. And he's like, no, anything but that. and then that creature destroys Goldar's little Goldar, and so Goldar wrecks its shit.
Yeah. It's so fun. I keep saying fun, but like it's really what it is. Like, it just brings a smile to my face because it's like
Goldar's the best character.
he really is.
Speaking of, by the way, I didn't bring it up earlier, but Scorpina being in this reminded me. Scorpina is introduced to be in the alternate world with Draken.
Yes.
And by his side.
That's right.
And then they do nothing with that relationship
that is
and
100%
idea. And I'm like, cool, thanks.
Yeah.
Hey,
What
Scorpina's there. It's like,
forgot.
hey, Scorpina's there, and then Nothing else.
Her name is her real name is Sabrina, as we learned, because that's like the name of this thing. It's like Sabrina's.
No, he just almost calls her Scorpina, and he corrects himself, and he's like, Sabrina.
That's really good. Okay. Yeah. I just want this. I kind of just want this all the time.
Yeah, this is really good. This annual was some of the best Power Rangers shit I've read. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thoroughly.
All right, that's Power Rangers then.
That'll
We'll
do.
Power Rangers.
2 more volumes 6 and 7.
So I have it here. So we also will be doing volume 8. Volume 8. So it's volume 6, 7, and 8, and that's 21 to the end. The 8th volume is just 29 and 30.
Oh,
That's weird.
Okay, well that's
And,
fine.
21, 30, and the Shattered Grid finale. So it's like the they did like a one shot to end the event.
All right, we'll be ending
All right.
Power Rangers next time. That's
Yeah.
what
All
we're
That's what's happening. Is yes, Power Rangers is ending.
and
next
then we're
time.
moving on.
So remember Mighty Morphin Power Rangers volume 6, volume 7, and volume 8. That's 21 through 30, and then the final Shattered Grid finale issue.
These issues are short.
What I will say is if the rest of this Kyle Higgins run can stick the landing on this run, I'd be willing to say that this is a solid series. It has its detractors, but I'd be like, no, you can get it. It takes a little bit to get really going, but you can get into it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you like Power Rangers, like I think it's totally up yours.
Yeah.
Totally.
I've been really
Coming
enjoying
from a
this.
person who's not very familiar with Power Rangers and saying, it gets there.
No, I'm actually enjoying the departure from what I remember of the TV show and the movie to I mean the movie, I mean like the old 1990 movie, not the newer one. And
It's a departure from that too, but
yes, huge departure. But I'm actually really enjoying the darker tones, the more mature aspects of it, and how it's still really good, and how it can take Power Rangers seriously, but still it's like this is still Power Rangers.
Yeah. I can't tell you how much I just wish that autistic Billy, a Billy who is on the spectrum, was something that carried over in any other Power Rangers story.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm like, that's the coolest thing. Man, do we need something like that? And it only happened in that movie.
And nobody saw it.
So that'll
We
on that sad note, that'll be it. So one more episode of the Fake Nerd Book Club for Power Rangers. Stay tuned for that whenever that happens. That'll do it. Definitely make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel. There's a bunch of other cool stuff on this channel. We have our Michael Moretti.
Nope.
Try again.
Yep.
There you go.
Marisi interview up now. He, the writer of Waste of Space. So if you've been watching the Waste of Space stuff,
Or if you haven't, read it. Go check out our episodes. Watch that interview. It's all really good stuff.
Yeah. Our stuff specifically, not his stuff is fine, but like our stuff.
His stuff is really good.
So definitely check all that stuff out. We have our Basement Arcade, spooky Basement Arcade ramping up soon.
It's ramping.
It's October, so it better be.
We bought a ramp.
It's on a ramp.
Ramp?
So stay tuned for that. And then we have we have our Fake Nerds Watch series, which we are currently doing Lovecraft Country. Mandalorian, probably season 2 when that comes out.
That's soon.
I feel obligated to.
Yeah. It's our first second season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
First time we did was Game of Thrones. Well, actually, no, The Boys.
Technically, we're going to drop The Boys before Mandalorian.
True.
Fair point.
And wouldn't technically nope, that wasn't Fake Nerds Watch. Stranger Things season 3 was just its own thing. Never mind.
We did a Fake Nerds Watch of Stranger Things, but it was
Season
the only one. It was the only one that we'd done as Fake Nerds Watch.
We just did a regular episode, like podcast review for it.
For Stranger Things 2, yeah.
Okay. So check out all those. Of course, we are doing our live quarantine podcast episodes on Sunday. You can check those out. Last week when this drops, we would have just done news, and this week we're starting some Halloween movies.
We're doing some Halloweeny things.
Spookies.
So that's all you can find us. Make sure to like, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to our podcast. Find us everywhere. I'm at BT McClure on Instagram and Twitter.
Who are you pointing to? Okay. Because you normally say our names, and then you just went.
It's true.
It's a video medium, Ben.
You can find me on the internet at BenMagnet27 on Instagram and Twitter.
No, it's Bread Magnet at Instagram and Twitter.
It is not. I'm not
Sparks.
Keto.
You can find me getting into the spooky season at SparksWitty on Instagram and Twitter.
All right, Hoopy Halloween. And Ryan.
Hello, it's me, Vincent Price. You can find me at DJ Tony Schnock everywhere.
Is that what you think Vincent Price sounds like?
No.
He's at a higher register, man.
Hans Gruber. Hans
I feel like
Gruber.
I should have done a voice for something. Damn.
You're good.
Ben, you got it covered. You do it all the time. I'm sure it'll come up tonight. We'll see you on the podcast episode where we're wearing the same clothes.
Because we didn't record these on the same day. Good night. Stay fake nerds.